All right, let's turn now to some politics. Illinois lawmakers have through this Saturday to pass a new state budget. Now, throughout the spring session, revenue projections have been dropping, meaning in an already tough financial year, Illinois is expecting to bring in less and less money to pay for all the things it wants to fund. Then you have to factor in the financial uncertainty on the federal side of things. So here to help us make sense of all of this is Peter Hancock, State House reporter for Capitol News, Illinois. Peter, thank you for joining us on this Memorial Day holiday. Why don't we start with the deadline? I mean, lawmakers have until Saturday to pass the budget by a simple majority vote. What happens if they don't?
Okay. Yeah, there is a strange little quirk in the Illinois Constitution that says all bills have to pass by May 31st in order to have an immediate effective date. If you go past that deadline, then they can only have an immediate effective date if they pass by a 3/5 majority. Otherwise, the bill can't take effect until like July of the following year. Normally, that wouldn't be too much of a problem because Democrats here have a 3/5 majority in both chambers. But we're dealing with a very difficult budget situation, and people are going to have to take some unpopular votes. So getting a 3/5 majority this year might be a little more difficult.
Well, the governor's Office of Management and Budget keeps lowering revenue projections. Basically, they thought the state was going to bring in this many billions of dollars in the next fiscal year. But now they keep saying it'll be less than that. I mean, the latest number was more than $500 million lower than February's estimate. What does all of this change mean for lawmakers?
Well, it means they either have to cut the budget or they have to increase revenues somewhere else. The governor in February proposed a $55.2 billion budget. The revenue estimates now from the governor's budget office as well as the legislative budget analysts both show not that much money coming in. They're anywhere from maybe 500 million to 700 million off. The two estimates don't exactly line up. So they've got some difficult choices to make here. And the budget that the governor presented in February, he would tell you, already did make some difficult choices. There are some programs that are being canceled or programs that are being cut. This is one of the things that happens in state governments on kind of a cyclical basis. Revenues are good, revenues stagnate, revenues fall off. The question is how well positioned is your state to deal with the downtimes? And it's no secret that Illinois operates with very little margin of error. So anytime revenues start stagnating in this kind of environment, it makes it very difficult.
I mean, you and your colleagues have reported about what lawmakers are saying to each other about all of this, and I get the sense that people are not going to be able to have their programs funded this year. Is that what you're hearing?
Unless you can come up with new revenues or you can make a cut somewhere else in the budget. There's just not enough money to go around for all of the things that people want. And of course, Illinois has, by statute, mandatory increases each year in its pension obligations, which are grossly underfunded. There are supposed to be automatic increases in K through 12 education. Of course, Medicaid is one of those things that goes up with the cost of health care and the number of people in your Medicaid program. So a lot of things are kind of out of the legislature's hands, really. So you've got to go looking for other places in the budget to either cut, or you have to come up with new revenues, which is never very popular. Then you get accused of raising taxes no matter how you do it.
I mean, while all of this is happening, you also have federal lawmakers that are working to pass a federal budget bill. I mean, the House already passed its version last week. This includes slashes to Medicaid, education, and clean energy programs. So what does that mean for Illinois?
Well, it could mean quite a lot. There are provisions in there that reduce the amount of money that the federal government pays, the matching rate that it pays for what's called the expansion group. When the Affordable Care Act or Obamacare passed back in 2010, states were allowed to expand Medicaid eligibility to cover working age adults, even those who may not have children. Prior to that, it was pretty much only low income people with dependent children. They're talking about lowering the federal match rate on that. To the tune, it would cost Illinois about $815 million to backfill the amount that they would, that the federal government would cut. Or there is a statute in place right now that says if the federal government ever lowers, stops paying the agreed upon match rate, then Illinois would simply stop covering those people. And that's about 770,000 individuals in Illinois who are covered by Medicaid under that program. So it would be very significant.
Certainly going to be a very busy week ahead for you and all of the Capital News Illinois team in Springfield. As always, Peter, thank you so much for your reporting. We'll see what happens next week.
Thank you, Shelby.